people not happy? According to an article, 322 million people across the globe suffers from depression. Probably more, assuming there are people who are not properly diagnosed. The mental health of people are declining. And get this, the number one cause of disability is not physical sickness. The number one cause of disability is depression. Just so happens that according to statistics, women are twice as likely as men to become depressed. And less than 50% of people who suffer from a mental disorder are getting any type of treatment. Now, according to the article, over 34 million US residents aged 65 and above are depressed. And I expect that this year, 2020, this number is going to shoot up sky high. According to WebMD, depression rate since COVID has shot up 300%. So what if you're a little sad all the time? Well, according to a survey, 80% of the interviewed adults feel that depression has caused them difficulty dealing with their work, home, and social activities. So why are people depressed? Why are you not happy? Is it because you don't have enough money? Because your job sucks? Or is it your husband is an a-hole? Your kids won't listen to you? And on and on and on. There are a million reasons people tell themselves that's why they're not happy. And I can kind of group them into three main reasons why people, maybe even you, are unhappy. Number one, people tend to postpone their happiness. Here's what I mean. Have you ever said to yourself or to someone, someday when I retire, or someday I will blah blah blah. Someday I'll quit my job and write a book. Someday I'll win the lottery and be happy. Something like that. Now Brian Tracy called this the someday I'll. Basically, you're saying you cannot be happy until you have something else. And this becomes a chain reaction and you gather this whole basket of reasons of why you can't be happy. If that is you, let me tell you this, that someday will never come unless you change. Your tomorrow look exactly like the same as today and yesterday if you do exactly the same thing every day. That's what Einstein said, right? Madness is doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting different results. And Einstein's a pretty smart guy. If you want that someday vision to come true, you have to change. For your life to change, you have to change. If you want to be happy, do something that makes you happy. Number two, you're trying too hard to make other people happy. Now, 2 years ago, my New Year's resolution was to never say I'm busy again. Or that at least never use busy as an excuse. Sometimes I do slip up, but I am consciously retracting myself from my mindset I'm too busy to be happy. Here's what I mean. People like to say that they're busy. I don't know how that got started. Maybe it's to prevent their boss to give them more work. And quite honestly, I often wonder why somebody is so busy. Busy to me means that you are bad at using your time. It's the truth. Notice that I didn't say manage your time. I don't believe in time management. Everybody has 24 hours a day. It is the great equalizer of all things. You cannot manage time. You cannot tell time to stop or move faster. It's just this. But what you can control is how you use your time. If you're a procrastinator, you know exactly what I mean. You procrastinate all the way until that very last moment that you had to get the thing done. And you essentially wasted all that time while you could have got it done much sooner. All right, so much for that. Let me loop back to happiness. What I'm trying to say is that you have to learn to say no. People will ask you to do things for them so that they don't have to spend time doing it. If you want to make them happy, you say yes. And voila, your time is gone. And it is not just about wasting time. When you're trying too hard to please other people, even if that is your spouse or your kids, you're forgetting that you are the most important person in your life. And if you don't put yourself first, your kids will see that, and they will also learn not to put themselves first. Is that how you want to raise your kids? Look, I am not asking you to turn everything down. But every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So be really vigilant about who and what you say yes to. My advice, only say yes to doing things that will make you happy. Now, the last one is a biggie. Number 3, comparing to others. We tend to have a lot of benchmarks that our parents and our culture put into our brains. You should go to college at 18. You should get married before you turn 30. You should have 2.4 kids and have 4-bedroom house by 35. Something like that. Who put these rules into your brain? And when you're so full of what you should have and you don't, you become unhappy. Parents, I'm especially talking about you. My observation is that parents especially love to compare their kids to other people's kids. My kid goes to this private school. My kid takes karate lessons. My kid can swim like a fish, and so on and so forth. And when your kids does not compare to your neighbor's kids, guess what? They feel your disappointment, and that feeling will hurt your kids forever. How do you feel when you're being compared to someone else? If you have siblings, you probably know what I'm talking about. Your sister went to an Ivy League school. How come your grades aren't as good as your sister's? Andy one day said to me, "Why don't you wear those long boots? She looks good in them." Well, I don't look good in them, and I'm not Julia Roberts. Stop comparing yourself to others and stop putting these fictitious benchmarks into your life. When you learn to just be you and accept who you are and be totally happy with how you are, that's how you become happy. Now, is it important to be happy? I think so. When you're happy, the people around you will also feel the energy and become happier themselves. It is a ripple effect that will benefit not just you, but everyone around you and everyone around them. So learn to develop an attitude for gratitude. On a good day, it is important to be grateful and also to celebrate and have fun. On a bad day, even the worst of the days, you may need to dig a little deeper, but the gratitude is there. And on those really dark days, it's even more important that you're grateful for what you have, who you are, and where you are. I know that life got a little bit hard in 2020. 2021 is just around the corner, and if you want to know how to become happier, healthier, and more fulfilled in 2021, I have a webinar coming up that will teach you the 3 must-have skills you need to go into 2021. The world has changed forever, and you need to adapt so that you can flourish and be happy. My goal here is to help as many people as I can so that they can be more successful and make the world a better, more peaceful place. So be sure that you sign up for my webinar using the link below, because next year, it can be the best year of your life. All right. Until next time, love what you live and live what you love.